Hey guys, welcome to this episode of the CE Tool Den. On today's video, we have Wiha, shooting for strippers, and we have some differences between all these three. They all have difference between each other, and we're going to talk about them and show you what we're talking about. All right, so let's get into the review, and this is the newest one that we have here in the shop, and these are the two old ones. Well, one of them's new again, and the other one's an old one. So let's see what this is made of. This one is, the two installation versions are VDE certified. VDE certified, 1000-volt rating. Probably more than that. And the wire strippers is not certified VDE, but it is 1000-volt rated. So gotta really keep that in check. So these two are the same as far as the box is concerned, and this is the new one that we just got yesterday. So this other one, installation drivers, is made in Vietnam. They're both say made in Vietnam. Number is 45489 for both of them. So this is a multifunctional 8-in-1 pliers, and again VDE certified right there. There's all your certifications for electrical work. There you go. All right, so, and then the new one, the wire strip, is a 6-in-1. It says Black Forest insulated wire stripper, 200 millimeters, 6-in-1, 1000-volt rated, German design. And this one is made in Vietnam also. And this is model number 47199. Doesn't give you certifications there. There you go. That's all you get for certifications. But it is insulated, so at least it's that. All right, here's the three. So this one is the newest one. So we bought this one on AliExpress, and then we bought a second one. Reason why we bought the second one is we'll tell you in a minute. Let's go over this one. So this is the one I originally bought on AliExpress, and it wasn't bad. It was like 35, 40 bucks. And I said, we did something to modify these, and I bought a second one because I wanted a stock version of the Wiha, these installation drivers. I really like these. Now, I did order the Knipex installation drivers in insulated and non-insulated. So we're going to be getting those at the end of the month, and we're going to be doing a review comparing these with the insulation driver. But in the meantime, we do have the Knipex wire strippers, insulated and non-insulated. We have with the comfort grips. This one's got the spring. This one does not have a spring. But this one is VDE certified, and this one is just non-certified, but a comfort grip. So we have those, but we really want to show you guys something pretty cool about these. So look at the insulation first of all between the Knipex. All the Knipex, the Wihas are going to be the same. These ones are going to have a little bit of a more protruded handle, so you don't get your hand over it. This one's got like a more of a bump out, but I still can't get my hand over that. I can't go up here for some reason. And this one doesn't have a spring, but this one does have a spring. This one, these two have the springs, adjustable springs. So you can go without the spring or with the spring. All you have to do is go, there's your spring. It's a spring steel. All you have to do is just flip it forward, over, and then you have a spring. That's pretty cool. And then flip it back if you don't want to use it. So you can just put it in your pouch and not have to worry about this opening. This one does not have a spring. All right, and check this out, guys. This is the wire strippers. This one does from 0.75 down to 8 millimeters of solid wire. I don't know if you can see that. There it is. All right, now check this out. On the other side, we got the Imperial. So you have the equivalent on one side, the main side, with the metric system, But on the other side, you have the Imperial. So this does 8 to 18 solid wire. There's your 12, there's your 14. Your 12 should be 2.5. Yeah, I don't understand why that one's like that. Because on this one it says your 12 is a 4. But if you go to any other wire strippers, your 12 is usually the 2.5. So on the installation pliers, it's 0.7, 1.5, and 2.5. And by the way, this does not have the American numbers. I always strip 12 gauge with 2.5, and it works beautifully. 14 gauge is 1.5. At least that's the way I've experienced it. I don't know if you guys have any similar experiences or something like that. Let me know in the comments. All right. So the heads are a little bit different in sizes. The strippers are more, a lot smaller than this one. The cutter is bigger on the installation. And there's a reason, you know, because it's less to strip. There's less strippers. I would have liked to have seen a longer cutter. And we'll show you what we mean in a minute when we start testing it out. But it's crazy, guys. Like, it does feel very comfortable in the hand. And this does cut M4, M3 screws, which is basically kind of like a 632 or an 832. Similarity. But it does feel good in the hand. I like it. You know, I'm glad I got this. I got this on AliExpress, and I think I paid like 30 bucks. 30, between 30, yeah, about 30 bucks. These are more expensive. These were in the $35 to $40 range. All right, so these are the new ones. It's got that smooth jaw tip right there, and then your grooves over here, vertical grooves. So you're kind of limited as to what you can do with this because of that slip. You're going to get slippage if you hold something with the tips. It's not going to hold very well. So here is, for example, my hand holding the wire. Very easy. Now, the reason why I have two of these, this is a stock one. Check what I did. I did this during a live stream, a couple of live streams ago. I put serrations and cross hatching with a Dremel. Now watch this, guys. I'm going to put this right there. And now this is pulling it out of my hand. And with the cross hatching and serrations, check that out. Watch this. It's going to be easier to grab and loop wire right here. Ready? The tip. There you go. That's a loop. Cuts really nice. I didn't change or modify anything else. Now this one you can grab. You're not going to mark a wire. If you use this and you squeeze too hard, you could potentially mark your wire. Where this one's not going to mark your wire. But see how it's just slipped on me as I'm trying to. See, it's trying to slip on me. And that's why we did the serrations, the modification, because check that out. So I have it right now. I looped it. I had to use this part of it. And when you want to loop a wire, you don't want to have to use this part where the serrations start. You know what I mean? You kind of want to use the tip of the screwdriver. You can probably use this little hole, this cutter, screw cutter. Let me see if I can loop it this way. Yeah, that's much better. That's a really nice loop too. Now let's use this one. The new wire strippers. Decent loop, not great, but I'm just limited by the hole. Now these grooves go all the way up almost to the top. You just have a little bit of smoothness there. So let's see how this is comparable. Yeah, this has a good grab on it. Let's grab it from this way. Yeah, this, even though it doesn't have cross hatching, at least you have more hold with these strippers than you do with the stock Wihas. And because this one is serrated, this thing is absolutely a monster. I would say this has got to be the equivalent to the Knipex. Very much so, insulation drivers. But at about half the price, or a little bit more than half the price off. So I definitely recommend this. And if you guys want to cross hatch them, do that at your own leisure with the Dremel. If you decide to do that, you can keep them stock, or you can do what I did. And like I said, these perform like a champ. Now let's show you the new ones and how they cut. So let's actually cut with the installation. There you go. Perfect. Cuts very good. Now let's cut with the new wire strippers. I feel like these cut a little better because it's got the longer cutter. It's got more ergonomic. Like that curve is more pronounced than this one. So this one's going to cut better, and it's got a bigger cutter. It's got the leverage. This has a better leverage cutter. Yeah, look, okay, check this out. So here is your cutter, and there's your pivot point. How close it is to the cutter. Here is your pivot point up here, and you have a good over 1/4 of an inch between the cutter and the pivot point. So this is going to be a little bit more, I mean, it still cuts pretty good. It cuts pretty good. No problems. But this one is way easier. This is nice. This is equivalent, I think, I would say, to the Knipex wire strippers. Let's try this one. Oops. I got to really open these up because these jaws kind of, you know, very good, very good, very good cutters. Let's try with the insulated non. Excellent. So, I mean, it really does a great job. All right, now let's start stripping with the new strippers. So we do have a 12 gauge right there, which is the third one up. Let's see how this strips. Does it strip as good as the installation of the Wihas? Yep. Very good. Actually, very good. I would say equivalent to these. Let's try stripping with the insulation drivers, and we'll show you what we're talking about, how good these are. You can actually strip down here, and you still will do a good job stripping. So there's a 2.5. Very good stripping. Let's do this one again. Right up here. Very good stripping. Like I said, these strippers are fantastic. Now, they do have a difference between the Knipex. Look at the jaws up here. Very thin, like a needle nose. So this is definitely like a needle nose style compared to the Knipex. And when you compare it to the Wiha, Wiha's got a little bit more thickness too. But this is a very good stripper. Cutter's pretty good. Not excellent, but pretty darn good. Like, I'm almost on the cusp of very good. But again, it's just a matter of the leverage design that's on this thing. I mean, it's not perfect, but it cuts. I have worse that are harder to cut with, but I would still use this every day. So this, I will tell you guys, this is not going to replace my favorite. This is still my favorite. This is my #1 go-to. This is always in my loadout bag. The Klein Slim Forge wire strippers. You cannot, like right now, ergonomically, everything overall combined, this is still my top dog. Oops, I didn't squeeze hard enough. I love the cutters on this. I mean, the cutters on this are super outstanding. You can't, you're gonna get as good as a strip on this as the Knipex and the Wiha. They're very good. But overall, I give these new strippers in the shop, no, wrong one, absolutely a grade A for stripping. Cutting, because the pivot point is a little further out, it's not going to be your best bet. If you want your best bet, you bring the installation drivers if you're just working on 14 and 12 gauge wire. But if you need to do more like other gauges of wire, you go like this, or you can bring your Knipex or Klein. But these Wihas have been super impressive, very impressive, and with the addition of the serrations, you can feel the little bit of jagged edges here. It'll just grab anything, guys. Like, I really like these. So I give these are a recommend, guys. This is by far a recommend, especially modified. This is an excellent stripper. This is an excellent cutter, like a top notch. It ranks up there with the Kleins and the Knipex. This one is an excellent stripper and the needle nose style, but it doesn't have the best cutting ability. It is a very good cutting ability, pretty darn good cutter. It just, if it had the pivot point up more or lower the blade down, I think you would have had a super cutter here, and this would have been as good as any one of these. But I still recommend these because they strip outstanding, guys. And if that's what all you're doing, and they have more grooves over here than these, and you don't have to modify these. So I like the handles. I like the feel on both of these. These are a little bit smaller. Got a little bit more of a curve, where this one's a little bit straighter. But I recommend both of these, guys. If you want to get a Knipex style budget installation driver or a wire stripper, I say go for it. All right, and that's a recommend. They're all recommends. This is my favorite recommend, but all these are recommends. I'm not going to say anything bad about these because they are excellent. And you just got to take into consideration if you want one of those or do you want one of these. And budget-wise, this is so much cheaper than the Knipex. Like I said, the installation pliers, it's a no-brainer. This one, it's going to be questionable depending on what your needs are and if you like Wiha or whatever, brand-wise. These are fantastic. These are excellent. These are my favorites. But I recommend the Wihas. Wiha is the shiz, you know? Wiiihhhaaa! You know, that's what I gotta say. They knocked it out of the park with these, and I recommend them. I got these on AliExpress for a heck of a lot cheaper than you can get these on Amazon. So if you guys like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, share, hit the bell for notifications. As always, have yourselves a good day, good night. Hype the videos if you can. And I want to cut ourselves out of here because the CE Tool Den is out.